It is the depths.
We make a good squad. Aye, aye.
I'd rather take my chances with the Maelstrom than a mine. Let's be quick.
Here it comes.
What, like it's hard? Child.
To your left.
We've got company.
Let's see what you got.
One. Patience, theory.
I got this.
Just a minute. The envoy needs him. We'll get them next time, dear.
Coming in hot.
Keep quiet.
Is that all you got?
Need a moment.
Out of 10. Still recovering.
Just a minute. Well, if you insist.
Hey! Over here!
Patience, Ding. Need a moment here.
You take me.
Easy one.
Let's see what you got.
Enjoy the pain.
I say!
Hurry in the brush. Can't you start?
win with a good team.
Don't think so, dear. They need a moment, dear. It's easy when you do it.
Try.
We find some shade. I'm stuck in a fur coat here.
Oh, good. That's how many eggs? I should have known there'd be survivors.
Thank Wodaker you're back. We haven't much time.
Oh, good. A frantic man with explosives. We should go, now.
You're with the Garrote, aren't you? What are you doing here?
The Steel Garrote. I wish I served beneath their banner, but I suppose that doesn't matter now. Envoy, I need you to listen. We have one chance to avert war with Thirdborn, and it's by blowing up the mine right now. If we arm Thirdborn, we arm them against Adia. I thought you would understand. Fine. I'll do what I must.
Now!
Ah, Envoy. Good to see you again. We wanted to,
I want answers, Envoy.
We saw the guard, Darla, headed after you, and, heard some, shouting. What exactly happened? I don't know what to say.
Really? Say on? No ideas at all?
Please, Carter. Know that neither I nor Weemgar had any idea. None whatsoever. Once we're done here, I shall order a full review of our ranks. If we have any other rats, I shall deal with them myself.
You know, I'm inclined for once to believe you.
You've done well, Envoy. Because of you, Adia's word matches her deed. Thank you.
A wise observation.
I'll manage it from here, Envoy. Don't worry. The mines are open and free again, so all should be well.
Hope this doesn't come back to haunt us one day.
Looks like we're reopening the mines. Pete's just sitting and stewing.
Need a moment here.
I was just getting warmed up.
Spiridine. Does anything rhyme with orange?
Drink lots of water, or in a few hours you'll feel cannon fire.
Who goes there? Oh, a traveler. I feared you might be something dangerous. Menacing, but rakish. You might just be the change I need. For days now, I have languished. I cannot initiate my next verse. My well cannot run dry now. This must be a masterpiece. A chanter, thank you. Even a mad world needs the bounty of words and music. Though the townsfolk did insist I learn how to defend myself. Yeah, no matter. I'll not let unproductive thoughts stand in my way. I must feed the souls of Thirdborn. Minoas in particular. You are deliverance personified. Here, better to show you. Read these 2 lines. Which one should I begin my praises with? Brilliant! I preferred that one myself, but I didn't want to influence you. Now, which one of these should come next? Ingenious. And after that? Thank the gods! Finally, I think it's taking shape. I should leave at once. I will contemplate the rest on the way. Oh, Thirdborn will be thrilled with my, hour.
Whatever happened to buying someone a drink?
So bad. What'll I tell everyone back home? Oh, praise Andra. Help at last. My squad and I rested in the cave by the water last night, and as we were sleeping, we were ambushed by those miserable Zorips. I was so surprised, and it was so dark. I just got separated from everyone else. Look, I can't face those monsters alone, but I have to know if anyone else made it out. So, can you just go in and see what happened to everyone? Please? Well, yes, of course. We decided to take care of the Zorbs, you see. You heard about Fior, right? But what's to stop the Steel Garrote from doing the same here? We have to be prepared to protect ourselves, just in case. Plus, Captain Ruiki's great-grandmother was a general, so we even had a real leader among us. Well, this would have been our first time, but Captain Ruiki thought we were ready. The Zorbs have been getting closer to town recently. We just wanted to nip this problem in the bud. So can you just go in the cave and check on everyone? Please? Oh, thank you. Please help them however you can. And if they're dead, well, we made badges together before we came out here, and everyone should still have theirs. Find those, and you'll find the squad. Be sure to come back as soon as you learn anything.
What am I hitting? Let's see what you got. Stay safe.
Just a minute.
Coming from your right.
Patience, dearie.
Nothing stops me. Worse than raw.
A fellow traveler. Nothing to peddle here. Sorry, got to be on my way. Former merchant, even I know my limits. Thirdborn has the Dream Scourge. Ugh, terrible. I'm leaving, and you should too. I tried to tell them my vapors would protect their minds from the change. They wouldn't listen. Nonsense! My grandfather sailed the high seas for 30 years, and he saw ancient remedies that far surpass our modern ones. But it's no use. Thirdborn's past saving. Now, if you don't mind, I should really be going. The better question is why you're not running from a soul plague. And I'm far too pressed for time to ask it. Fair winds, traveler. Ingrates.
That's one for us.
Quite a change from Emerald Stair, isn't it? I know that it can be painful. Oh, the poor dear.
Let's see what you got.
Patience, dearie.
They won't get past me. Coming down. Coming from the rear. Let me catch my breath.
Need a moment.
some interesting wares if you've got coin. Good. Looks like you're still in one piece. What can Ihaka get for you? Come on! How many things have tried to kill you today? The dream thralls will eat you for lunch if the spiders don't get to you first. Me? I do fine. I know how to move without being seen. But other travelers aren't that lucky. So, share the wealth. That's what they say. It's not about what they're worth. It's about lightening the load. After all, I've got years of it to get through.
Cures, tonics, and poultices for sale. Will promptly cure what ails you.
Someone beat the demons. Just a minute.
Hey! Over here!
Stay safe!
Love this stuff.
You're not looking so good.
You won't.
Take your best shot.
Need a moment.
Throw up 10.
Customer, please. You're ready. We can get down to business.
Look, unless you know where the whetstone for my scalpel is, can you go away? This is a pristine specimen, and I've been looking forward to this all day. So hurry along. Not to share, no matter how much.
Greetings and salutations, traveler. Welcome to our shop. Still a work in progress, of course. But once you stop being blurry, we can get to business. No, my vision's perfect. Just since I got bit by that giant spider, things have been blurry. It probably wasn't even venomous. The bite's not even that itchy. I appreciate the concern. Now, if you don't mind my asking, how did you find us? Well, clearly I'm the more handsome of us. How do you know Wait. Tell me, did my brother send you?
Aiko, your brother used to think east and west flipped after noon. You really think he's sending anyone anywhere?
Can I ask just what he expected? Did he think sending a messenger would make me forget what an ass he is? What gave that away? It's just like Daiko. Now that I've done all the legwork, he just wants to swoop in and take half of everything. He's always been like this ever since we were children. Clearly, I'm the more industrious brother. No, it's no big deal. You go outside, find some dead dream thralls, and slice off some of the fungi growing off their head. Then you bring them back home, grind them up, and snort them. Obviously.
Oh, of course. When you say it that way, it makes perfect sense.
Wimps. Why? What part of illegal substances made you think speaking to the Tiranui was the best move? Why did you have to bring my brothers into this? No one likes a pedant. This is what I get for mixing business and family. I should have known better. I thought that since Daiko and I were twins, we'd be similar enough for us to not fight. Guess I was wrong. Now you tell me. You know what? It doesn't matter. As long as I get paid. Preferably more than Daiko. Here's the package you wanted. That'll... Whoa. Couldn't feel my head for a moment. Oh, that'll cost you, of course. Really? Huh. Where did I put your payment, then? Well, the customer is always right, so... Here, hopefully this will cover it. Oh, and be careful. It's supposed to be an especially potent batch. Tell your friends, the friends not right here with you, I mean. Actually, before you go, am I the only one who just lost their vision? Oh, I don't feel so good.
Ico's dead? I told him that spider bite wasn't supposed to be the size of a melon. Didn't I, Shizu? Well, shit.
What do we do now?
Well, maybe if we're quick, the animancers and Fewer can fix them right up. Put them to work setting up their new barns.
I didn't know Ico was interested in farming.
All right, Ico was the one with the sense of humor.
You know, the responsible thing would be to try a sample. To make sure it's safe, of course.
A breeze. The mind perceives with unclouded eyes and sees the truth.
You've already got a god in your head. No drugs are gonna top that anyway.
Just a minute.
Remind me not to make you mad.
Hello. Are you here to grieve someone too? You're lucky. I know far too many buried here. There are so many flowers here. I'm sorry I never learned their names. My brother thought of them as friends, you know? He loved them dearly. Oh, I know that. My brother used to love these flowers particularly. Something about beauty and death. He died last month. The Dream Thralls killed him. Killed 3 of his comrades. He absolutely hated fighting. All he wanted to do was be a gardener. If the plague ever ends, I'll grow a garden around his grave. Right now, all I have is this bouquet. I'd bring it to him, but... It's not safe. There are things near his grave. Will you go chase them out? And maybe tell him I'll grow him a garden one.
Looks like it's got some missing parts. Oh, I can't wait to see what it makes. not used to quiet. Need a moment, dear.
Treacherous weed!
Let's see what you got. On the right.
Try that again. I won't let him through!
That boy needs healing.
Stand raw! Stand raw! Stay safe! Stand raw!
does one become a scout?
What? What? You looking to pick up the craft? Craft?
Oh. Unfortunately, I would only be a useful guide. Some godless ruins, and I don't know that I'm quite ready to share.
When I joined you, I thought we'd be exploring the intersection of the physical and the spiritual, not bickering over sulfur. Yet here we are. Thanks to you, Thirdborn will have all the ammunition they need to defend themselves. In theory. Agreed. What matters is it's theirs, and will remain so. At the end of the day, bullets are of limited use against the Dream Scourge. And it'll take more than gunpowder to wrest the living lands out of your Empire's clutches. Still, maybe a little gunpowder is better than none at all. Anyway, what do I know? I'm an animancer, not a strategist. You too.
For the camp of an official Adiran envoy, I was expecting a little more. A proper bed, at least. But I suppose this will do for now. As long as you have a bath, of course. Just as things could be worse, they could also be a lot better, envoy. But, as riveting as it is to complain about our accommodations, I imagine you have another topic in mind? I'm the only buyer you'll find here, and I already have the jar. A lesson for next time, darling. It's always worth some haggling. Unfortunately, it's been quite some time since I've met another who focused on the godless as I do. And I imagine I'd be more knowledgeable on the subject than anyone else you could find. Technically, yes. Well, it set me on the path, at least. When I got my first grimoire as a child, I was trying out some of the fancy new spells I'd been given. I was attempting a simple illusion spell, but I must have slurred my words. The next thing I know, everything was on fire. I mean, my arm wasn't the only casualty. What is childhood but for silly things? When else can you get away with arson? My father was able to pull me from the flames as my mother doused them. I burned myself badly enough to give myself some vivid dreams, but the house still stood at the end. Of course. Now I only burn those that deserve it, like mosquitoes and university administrators. The only lasting damage was my burn mark and the dreams. Nightmares are still dreams, envoy. Just not ones you'd recommend to others. They're not nearly as enjoyable as my more, provocative dreams. Oh. Well, just be sure to have a quick release knot if you ever make that fantasy reality. Someone should learn from my mistakes. I certainly have no intention to.
Goodness, we're feeling very honest today, aren't we?
As delightful as you are, we've much to do and less time to do it in. Shall we go?
Thirdborn. If it weren't for the Leviathan skeleton in the middle of town, I'd hardly recognize the place. Well, that's what I'm trying to nail down. You ever come back to a place and feel like the buildings are smaller and the colors are duller? Something to be said for that. Thirdborn was always this rugged oasis. Dangerous and out of the way, but bursting with vitality. It was a harbor for larger-than-life types. People like Capo, the Leviathan Slayer, and Tama. Glory seekers, trophy hunters, warriors trying to leave their battles behind. People who built around their stories and their scars. Me too. Being back. It felt like we were watching Thirdborn die a slow death. Yeah, but I thought age was supposed to bring wisdom. Something to balance out the back pains and creaky knees. I think what's eating at me is that Thirdborn seems rudderless. The Dream Scourge is one threat. Conflict with Adir is another. The Living Lands is changing, and Thirdborn feels like a barnacle on a moving ship. Temerity's leading them as best she can, but towards what? What are we doing out here besides surviving? And right now, they're drifting. Yeah. What about you? You were sent by your Emperor to investigate the Dream Scourge. Since then, you've died, met a secret god, and gotten swept up in tensions between your empire and our scattered settlements. You've been consistent. You brought Egwulf to Adir's justice, and the Steel Garrote's attack on Fjord went forward. Do you know what you're sailing towards, or are you drifting with the tides? It's good to know what you stand for. I envy that clarity sometimes. Thanks for talking. I hope Thirdborn is able to find its way somehow. A marker of his service to Thirdborn's defense. And something that helps his comrades identify his remains, if needed.
You always hope it won't come to that.
You hope it won't, but you know it might. It's an old Rauataian naval tradition that Thirdborn's kept alive. And another debt I owe him. Knight, envoy.
You have that face again. What's wrong?
What do you need?
Let's make sure they're not listening. The only one we haven't talked about is Yatsley. I don't trust her any further than I could throw her, which honestly isn't that far. She actually goes down into these ruins on purpose, just to see what's down there, I guess? And now she's trying to lead us to the garden. Might as well be searching for WoW's wacky wagon of mysteries. I'm sure she knows what she's doing, but what if she doesn't?
Not before I've done so.
Oh, envoy. Might I steal a moment of your time? We need to discuss what happened in Emerald Stair, don't you think? I can't believe Fjord's gone. A city of scientists, attacked for no reason. I'm going to personally find every Steel Garrote asshole and turn them to ash. I can't believe we were able to get as many out of town as we were. We were lucky that the Steel Garrote are all so bad at their jobs. At least we were able to get everyone to safety. Though with everything happening in Thirdborn, safe might be relative. At least I know Temerity will keep an eye on them. I think she knows what'll happen if she doesn't. I know, and she knows. Let's leave it at that. Oh, I didn't move to Fjord until I was 20. Or somewhere around there, give or take a few years. You see, Emerald Stair has Naku Tedek. For a young and aspiring godless scholar, it was a godsend, if you'll forgive the pun. And, as a young at heart godless scholar, I've traveled outside the stair to other ruins. That's how I met Temerity. Thirdborn's close to Naku Kubel, and a girl's gotta eat sometime. In fact, there are. But I'd spent the better part of my childhood in them. I had to go out and find new ruins to get lost in. Have you no sense of adventure, Envoy? I still go out often. I've cataloged many ruins, but there are always more. And coming home to a warm welcome is lovely. You should try it sometime, darling. Brilliant, Envoy.
You don't have to be an animancer to enjoy the pleasure of their company.
Exactly. Thank you, darling. Even with the stunning lack of animancy in my life, I marched into town and everyone fell in love with me. Oh, part of it is my sparkling personality, of course, but a larger part of it is time. It's hard to hate someone when they drop by your lab with lunch after you've forgotten to eat again. As much as I'd love to, you don't travel with the kitchen. I can't promise anything. My mother always said that the way to a man's heart was through his stomach. Quilici and I got together the old-fashioned way, though. I saw a beautiful man across a smoky tavern. Then I dazzled him with my delightful personality. Then he showed me an abandoned ruin outside of town, and I was hooked. Oh, it's not a fairy tale, darling. We've been happy for the most part. Any rough patches got smoothed over well enough. I only thought about killing him once or twice. He's probably thought the same a bit more. I still can't quite believe that everything we've built is gone. A generation of work scattered to the wind. It makes you wonder how everything will turn out. At least Quilici is with them. So I know someone competent is there. Thank you, Envoy. I feel a little less frazzled. I've got a lot to think on. Talk to you soon? Try not to have too much fun without me. How can I help, darling? We've been traveling together for a little while. I just have to know. Did you purposefully choose such colorful company, or is that just what you attract naturally? I mean, I'm very clearly a delight, so it's obvious why you let me stick around. I'd seen Kai around once or twice, and always thought he was charming enough. He's got a sharp tongue, though. Makes me like him even more. And Marius. I don't know what's lurking in him, but I do think he should speak to someone on it. If he reaches out, do try, will you? As for Giada, well, clearly Giada is a gem. As for me, well, I'm just as riveting as you, but the boys are giving me a run for my money. You've got the thorn of a secret god inside of you. I think your uniqueness goes without saying, my dear Envoy. You do strike me as a people person. Tell me, do you get along with all you meet? So, you'll be swarmed by well-wishers then, upon arriving home? And here I thought I had a wild youth exploring ruins. You might be putting me to shame, dearie. Why do you think Quilici and I went to Naku Tedek in the first place? Of course, other lovers were less willing. Something about them being gross and terrifying. I just think it adds to the excitement. Well, you've satisfied my curiosity. You know, Envoy, we've traveled enough that I think I've gotten a handle on your style. Style of fighting, I mean. Your fashion sense is more opaque. But listening to your incantations, they could use some tightening up. I could probably teach you a thing or two, if you're up for it. What do you say? If such a thing is even possible. For me, at least. What? Out of breath already? Talk to one of the boys. See if they can help with your stamina, dear. Well, I've taught you all I can. Let's hope you put it to good use.
Tell me. Where did you... You have something on your mind, and I want to hear all about it. What are you so curious about? Anyone in particular? I warn you, I'm not the best judge of first impressions. Kai is a useful fellow. We need people like him to keep you grounded. Otherwise, it would just be me and Yatsli filling your head with bad ideas. On the surface, Kai is all charm and confidence. You feel good knowing he's around. But there's something deeper. Something in his core that he guards from everyone. Maybe even himself. Oh, not at all. Kai is a sweetheart. And if that's who he chooses to show us, then that's who he is. If there's another side to him, he'll show us when he's good and ready. No need to rush a natural process. Marius is working through something. An old wound that hasn't healed. A search for forgiveness? Who knows? He's a tough fellow, but I wouldn't put too much pressure on him. We're all wounded. That's the price of survival in the living lands. Just look at you. Only just got here and you died in the line of duty. You may not be from the living lands, but the island left you a scar to remember. Now, you're just like us. Of course, she's brilliant, open to anything, and sees the world as she wants it to be. Yatsli gave me my first glass of wine, and the courage to approach a special someone. We have a lot of catching up to do. No one to get jealous over. To call it a relationship would be an insult to the word. But it was fun while it lasted. Animancy is the study of life. Unfortunately, we get so busy that we forget to live. So a little roll in the hay is good for the soul. Yatsli taught me that. Well, not the part about rolling in the hay. That was my idea, and I don't recommend it. Indeed, old friends. When they died, Yatsli protected me. Made sure I had one consistent person in my life. I think that's why she gave me that glass of wine. Why she encouraged me to live my life to the fullest. She was making sure I hit all the milestones I could have missed. Now that she's traveling with us, maybe she can teach you a thing or two. We haven't been together long, but I think I have you figured out. In Paradise, you killed your killer. Some would call that justice. Others would call it vengeance. But who am I to judge? In your shoes, I might have done the same. You helped Fiorme Siverno through an awful time. We did our best. No one will forget that. Of course, all I know is what you've done. You may not think these choices reflect who you are. At the end of the day, you shouldn't care what anyone thinks. All that matters is how you see yourself. I think that covers everyone. And if my good opinion changes, you'll be the first to hear about it. Thanks for talking. I'm starving. Serves me right for not packing enough snacks.
I've got some cheese. What? Hey, I wanted to talk to you about what happened in Emerald Stair. I know your Emperor sent you here to represent Adir, but the Steel Garrote raising Fior has gotta make things harder for you. Sure, but you couldn't have expected this. The cruelty, we saw, it's hard to reconcile that with the place you've called home. I just wanted to know how you're feeling about all this. Yeah, I did my time fighting under Rauatai's flag in the Deadfire. Seeing what we did there, what we allowed. I felt like the home I knew was changing, bit by bit, or maybe I was. Enough about me, though. I want to know about you. I admire your loyalty, but don't let it swallow every other part of you. No matter what you tell yourself, those feelings have a way of coming out eventually. Anyway, I just want to check in with you. This may be your burden, but you don't have to carry it alone. What's on your mind? So did my commanding officers. You're asking me? I'm not much of a gossip. Okay, who do you want to know about? She's got a lot of heart, and she's loyal to her people and their principles, even when it costs her. Giada's lost her home, but kept her resolve. It takes a special kind of person to weather what she has and emerge stronger for it. She'll have a lot to figure out after all this, but she's gonna be okay. She's young. She'll get there. Until then, there are certainly worse things to be driven by. You know, just when I was thinking our little group was getting too solemn and serious, we met her. Sometimes I think she lives in her ruins and grimoires rather than in the real world with the rest of us. But she keeps things interesting and keeps us on our toes. What's more, she's a good friend to Giada. And Giada's a good influence on her. Yeah, and both of those subjects fly way over my head. I prefer dealing with things I can see and make sense of. I just hope she keeps some part of herself grounded with the rest of us. She's brilliant, but I worry that the real-world consequences of the forces she plays with are academic to her. Maybe I shouldn't. Okay, but only if you let me turn that question around once I've answered you. I think you've been trusted with a nearly impossible task. When we first met, I thought that was because you made some powerful enemies back home. But as I've gotten to know you, I think that if anyone can stop the Dream Scourge, it's you. I don't always agree with your priorities, which is no surprise by now. I think you let your beliefs get in the way of common decency too often. At the end of the day, I'm proud to fight alongside you. And there you have it. Your turn now. Oh, well, that's, nice of you to say. I don't mean to be rude. That's just more praise than I've probably earned. Enough about me, right? Sure. Check your bedroll for fame worms.
Singing sand, we feel the essence seep from the ruins. The teeth and the dunes roll before us. We have questions still. A lion kneels, a blight before it, spells and suspicion at its back. What ruled the land alone now seeks the safety of the pride. A crystal shimmer. Friend or hunter? Let it in and see. We feel the people of Thirdborn huddle together in the dark. We smell desperation, panic. Then, the seasons change. They turn to each other. What began as a sapling grows, the branches spread. We look deeper. Our limbs sift through sand. What do you know of this? For years, we watched the Akita share their food and tie their hands. Gifts, promises. Why do they undertake these rituals? Ensure the pack survives. Our thorn removes you from the bloodline. Does it still speak to you? Spring turned to winter. A soul torn from its rightful home. This we understand. New leaves breach the impenetrable clay. A bush unfurls amid the suffering and strife and blooms. Nothing should live here. How can it sprout? From what well does it spring? Sharp claws. Fear. The Alpha leads. We cannot shed our roots. We have learned much. Dream of shimmering scales as you rest.
unseen, unheard.
Worse than raw.
On your right.
I say.
Just a minute.
Nothing stops me.
Take it off. I say.
Away with you. I love this.
Try that again.
Wait a moment, dear.
Another glorious battle.
The poor dear. He didn't stand a chance.
Watch your step. This land has bled finer warriors than us.
At least it's a beautiful place to die. Keep quiet. Oh, big mistake.
Up 10.
Over here!
I say.
On your left, dear.
Worse than raw. I say.
Don't relax just yet. Come and get me!
Loose end.
Need a moment, dear.
I say.
On your right.
Better weapon.
Don't think so, dear.
Always used to boast about her family's military.
If you ignore all the dead bodies around, you little camp.
Hope whatever got you was quicker than the dream scourge, old friend. Unseen, unheard.
This one's mine.
All 10. Stay
Need a moment, dear. Upward, watch your left. Even more. I know this.
On your right.
On your left, dear. Just a minute. Patience, dearie.
Let's see what you got. Good and raw. Ice it.
Right flank. Nothing stops. Let me catch my breath.
Ice it.
On your right.
Next one's mine.
Just a minute.
Coming towards the right.
Who's ready for more?
Good and raw.
Let's try something else.
Ice it.
Nice one.
Hey! Over here!
Enjoy the pace. Love to take a ride.
Didn't stand a chance!
Ice it. Good and raw.
Come and get me!
You there! Over here!
At least you took care of those bastards. I'm glad I got to see some vengeance served. Don't know why you're here, stranger, but I'm grateful you are. Wait, Naoki sent you? Of course he did. He would be the one to make it out. Well, you can tell him we're all dead. Soon enough, it'll be true. We arrived at the cave last night, made camp, and it all went downhill from there. We thought the Zorps had already moved on. And we're not that stupid.
Spending the night here isn't what I'd call wise either.
Look, after what happened in Fior, we had to make sure it didn't happen here. The Zorps were our first official mission. That's not true. We practiced by the dock and ran drills together. Captain Ruiki even had an old book of battle tactics.
Well, that explains how things went sideways.
Private Naoki was on watch, but I guess he fell asleep because the scaly bastards ambushed us. It was a massacre. Most died then. The rest ran off in all different directions, screaming. Naoki must have gotten away in the chaos. The gods have a cruel sense of humor to save just him. Private Naoki is a fool and a coward. Since we left Thirdborn, he's been running his mouth. We got to hear how many Zorps he's going to kill and who he thinks is afflicted. The town's been talking about nothing but Fior and the Dream Scourge. I think it got to him.
It crawls into our mind as it crawls into theirs.
It's probably why he was the first one out, because it was all suddenly real. Even if the captain had been acting weird lately, there were 1,000 better reasons for it. No, Captain Ruiki was fine. We were all fine, no matter what Private Naoki thinks. If you don't believe me, check her journal. That should be enough to please you. If anything, it might finally convince that idiot Naoki. Here, take my badge. Take everyone's. Our families deserve to know we fought and died for them. I don't have long. Let me stay and enjoy the silence before Barath takes me. Please, let me spend my final moments in peace.
I used to fish and drink with these people before I left. They weren't soldiers.
Sounds like they wanted to be.
I didn't realize how bad things had gotten here. While I was away.
The Dream Scourge seems to have seen all of Thirdborn range. I guess I can't blame them wanting to do something.
Stay safe! Take your best shot. On your right! Hey! Over here!
Patience, dearie!
Try.
On the left!
Up 10! Not looking so good.
There's nothing there. Need a moment.
Stay safe!
Hello again. Have you found anything? Of course he did. Sergeant Asui never has a thought he won't say out loud. So what did he tell you? That Captain Ruiki was sick? That I was paranoid? That I was a dumb baby? I heard it all often and loudly. Wait, if you found Sergeant Asui, why is he not here with you? What happened? What? No, that isn't my fault. Look, I don't know what you think you know, or what he told you, but I know what I saw. The captain had been acting weird for days. She was giving orders to people who weren't there, yelling at us over nothing. Not just the captain either. Manu was jumpier than usual. Kiri seemed compelled to echo our words back to us. Even Sergeant Asui began muttering to himself. It was more than just stress. I'm not some idiot who can't tell the difference. Everyone was sick. And it was only a matter of time before it was brought home the third born. If you saw them, you'd agree with me. I think I would know if I was sick, okay? Someone had to leave and let the others know what happened. Look, you either believe me or you don't. Just give me their badges and I'll let their families know. I am not a coward. Look, I would not just leave them to die for no reason. A swarm of Zords attacked in the dead of the night. What was I supposed to do, huh? Stick around and die with everyone? I'm not a coward! There was no other option! Take it back. Or else, I'll reclaim my honor. That's it! Draw your weapon! To the death!
You asked for it! Patience, Siri!
Stay safe!